How you doing? My name is Cody Mack, and you are watching This is Cody. I know that's a lot of Cody to deal with, but hey, us Codys have got to stick together. Be sure to see him at the link below.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 8.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Cody. Special guest with me here today, Cody Mack. How's it going?
Doing really well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Great to have you here.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, no problem. So let's start out. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
My name is Cody Mack. I'm a freelance musician. I do a lot of playing in country music, especially with a couple of established artists, mostly in emerging artists that are just kind of coming out, doing their thing, and hoping to get a little bit of the piece of that big country music pie that everybody talks about
Right.
in the movies.
Awesome.
But that's the music part of it. I'm a bass player and a drummer, again for a number of artists. But I'm also a booking agent, and do a little bit of other little tiny management stuff on the side to kind of help out these artists a little bit. But it's mainly it.
Awesome. And how did music come into your life? How did it all begin for you?
It's kind of the family business.
Yeah.
You know, my father was a professional musician for decades. Played in all across Western Canada, really, in some of the U.S., and played lead guitar for, Jesus, a long time, probably 45 years or so, I'm going to guess. Sorry if I got that wrong, Dad. My sisters as well, they sing. They've done some stuff in the past, and my mother was a singer as well, and it's just kind of in the blood. So that was where the whole professional musicianship side came out.
Yep.
Once I realized I was kind of good at it, I figured I might as well make some money at it.
That's fair. And you say you work with emerging artists and stuff. What are some of the artists that you've worked with so far?
One of my main artists, I play bass for Andrea Nixon. She was actually kind of the one that gave me my start. It's the first one that really had faith in me as a player.
Yeah.
And so I've worked very hard in order to be the best player that I can be for her particular project. She's a great friend too. We've been on the road together a long time, and it was, we've kind of grown together a little bit. But I also play drums for Danny Hooper, also with Sean Gristwood, who's got a new single out right now called Can't Fish Too Much. It is excellent. You need to listen to it. Got a little bit of play on CFCW, which was a good thing.
Yep.
I'm also working with Steve Newsom on drums as well. Doing a little bit of work with Chrissy Feniak. But I also play bass for Haley Benedict. Justin Hogg as well, who I'm playing with in Lethbridge for Whoop Up Days, which I'm really looking forward to. He's going to debut some new stuff, so
awesome.
We're going to be able to get some work done down there, and we're really looking forward to it.
Awesome. And now, out of all the things that you do, what do you find is your main focus?
I love playing live, no matter what. I've done some work in the studio, but I don't really feel that thing that studio musicians feel, whatever that is.
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the creative aspect, or maybe it's the pressure, or maybe it's maybe something I don't understand. But when it comes to playing live on a stage in front of a ton of people, that's there's nothing like it. I can't replace it with anything else, and that's what I ultimately want. And whether that's playing bass, or whether that's playing drums, or whether that's doing any fronting in any cover bands that I happen to be in, to be able to watch a crowd love what you do is, I don't know, I can't find anything that makes me feel the same way.
Awesome. Okay, so now we have the CCMAs coming up in September. You're kind of involved with some stuff down there during that time. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how you're involved.
I'm going to be doing some work with Soroma Entertainment for their Diamonds in the Rough showcase. That's going to be happening from virtually the beginning of the CCMAs to the end, from September 5th to the 8th. Not only am I doing sound for the showcase itself, but I'm also running their house band for a Sunday wrap-up party that's going to be happening at the King Eddie. Right after the CCMA Awards, so it's going to be it's going to be a party. It's going to be pretty cool.
Awesome, yeah.
There's Johnson Crook and Ben Click are going to close that, but the house band is going to be playing with Kat Zell, Chris Bryan, Jordan Leaf, and Jordan Pollard. And that's going to be a heck of a lineup. Really, really good talent all the way through there.
Absolutely, yeah.
So doing some work with Angie Morris of Soroma. Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it, Angie. But I'm also doing some work with the ACMA for their ACMA at the CCMA showcase, which is going to be happening on Thursday, September 5th at the Metropolitan, I think. A really cool little place in downtown Calgary. It's a nice little spot.
Yeah.
I'd never been there up until just the past couple of weeks, where it's like, hey, this is a nice little spot. So a little plug for them. It's a good spot.
Awesome.
That is going to be a little bit of a different thing than the Soroma wrap-up will be on the Sunday. I'll be playing bass for the Soroma thing, but I'll be playing drums for the ACMA at CCMA Showcase. And they have a ton of artists in there. Chrissy Feniak is one of them.
Yeah.
Kat Zell is going to be a part of that one as well. And a host of other people. I believe Brad Saunders is a part of it. The whole list you can find at acma.ca. Just don't remember all of them right now. Justin Hogg is another one.
Yeah.
Spencer Stevens is another one that I remember that they've all kind of gone through a bit of a process in order to be chosen for this showcase. So I think that's about as bright of a showcase as you can have for Alberta country music. It's
Bunch of
really
great
exciting.
artists, yeah.
Jordan Leaf is part of it as well.
Yeah.
She just won that award at BBJ.
Yeah, and then got to play main stage.
Oh, yeah, it was a big deal.
Absolutely.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really fun playing with her these two showcases. And I'm playing with one of my good friends, Josh Rizicki, in both of these bands.
Yep.
Really good player.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Might be the best ear out there.
Yeah.
He hears things I sure don't. So he leaves me in the dust for a lot of reasons. But he's been really cool to work with and a really good player. By the way, if you need a lead guitarist, Josh Rizicki, he's the guy.
He's the guy. Okay, and so do people need to buy tickets to this, or do they just show up to attend it?
As far as I know, both showcases are open to all ACMA and CCMA members as well as the general public.
Okay.
I know for sure that the ACMA showcase on the Thursday is open to the public for sure. The CCMA one, I'm pretty sure it is, but that's something that you probably want to check out. Soroma Entertainment's website. I don't know it off the top of my head.
I'll put the link down below.
In the doobly-doo.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'll put it down below.
Awesome. Probably right when you did this.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Oh, editing.
Perfect. And now, you working with a lot of these artists, what do you find some of their challenges are for artists, especially in Alberta?
For a lot of the emerging artists, I think it comes down to experience. I think as long as they can have a stage in which to hone their craft,
Yeah.
Whether it's at a jam or whether it's just playing live as often as possible, and with the lack of venues, it seems there's new ones that pop up all the time,
For sure.
so they kind of fill the void. Just to be able to get the experience that they need in order to make sure that they understand that they're a brand. They need to build their brand, which means they need to get better at songwriting. They need to build their show. They need to have something compelling. Their content
Yeah.
has to be top notch in order for them to kind of get into those top tiers of country music.
Right.
And one of the things that I think gets maybe lost in the mix a little bit is that some of them might think that they're good enough already and then are disappointed when it doesn't happen for them. But it's like, that's why you're an emerging artist, because you're trying to get better at everything, and it's a big job, especially when you don't have, you might not have some management behind you, or if you have like a friendager or something like that
sure.
kind of helps you out.
Yeah.
But it's a long climb, and when you're just starting out, it's very arduous. It's very frustrating. You feel like even when some good stuff happens and then no good stuff happens for a while, you think, well, did anything I do matter even?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you can't get discouraged. You just have to keep
keep
you
going at
have
it,
to keep going.
Yeah.
Don't quit. Be stupid enough to not quit.
Yeah.
I've heard that can't remember where I heard that, but that's kind of how you deal with the music industry. You just be too stupid to quit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And go until, if you fail, you fail. At least you didn't get stuck doing some job that you hate just for the money, and then
Sure.
You're sitting there at 55 staring your pension in the face thinking, is that all there was?
Yeah.
So
Just keep going, and you did everything, even if you do fail.
That's right.
You did
Half
everything
the
you
fun
did.
is failing.
Yeah.
You
learn from it, right?
Exactly. And but when it comes to emerging artists and what they need to do, I have no idea what they need to do.
Yeah.
I have just as much experience as some of these people do. But on the other hand, I go to shows. I see what the big players do.
Yeah.
I see what makes them good, and
Right.
it's like there's no reason why some of these artists can't do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? So, if I have any advice to any emerging artists out there, if you're already going to shows, trying to, not only just enjoy what they're doing, but also seeing what they do right and be like, I can do that.
Yeah.
They structure their set lists in a certain way. They're compelling in between songs sometimes. They got a little bit of banter going on. They know how to pump up a crowd. And especially the difference between headliner sets and opener sets. If you have an opener set, you kind of have a job to do. Your job is to pump up the crowd. And get them ready for the either the support people, like the support artists that have a little bit of a draw that kind of help out the headliner a little bit, and then you have your headliner those are the people that they're actually there to see.
Right.
So if you're an opening set, you get them pumped up. You put them a beer ahead of schedule. That's what your job is.
Right.
And throw your own in there once in a while. You know what I mean? Say, hey, I'm also a songwriter too. Here's a little example that's that's got some energy to it still.
Yep.
That may want to make them go for that extra beer before the headliner goes on. And then once the headliner goes on, they're all pumped up, and then the headliner's going to be like, yeah, the opening act did their job.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden they're coming to this crowd that are, like I said, that beer ahead of schedule.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, wicked, that crowd was ready to go when I got on stage.
Yep.
And then they'll look at the opening act and be like, hey, next time I'm around, we might give you a call because you did the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some artists forget that.
Yeah, for sure.
They think it's kind of all about them and getting as much of their own material out as possible and all that stuff. And it's like, well, I've seen that fail more often than do well.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
But that's me and my experience. Someone could be listening to this right now and being like, what the hell is this guy talking? He doesn't know anything. But it's like, well, played in a pub a long time, and one of the things that they like to do in a pub is drink.
Yep.
And if they're not drinking, they're not spending money, they're not sticking around, they're going to go home early and watch Netflix and
Yep.
do something that's going to be a little bit, quieter because they didn't get that beer ahead of schedule. And then all of a sudden they're calling their babysitters saying, oh man, having a good time. Can you stick around an extra couple hours? Sorry, click.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So
That's awesome. That makes complete sense. So you got the CCMA stuff. You've got some shows coming up. What else is next for you?
Oh man, there's a lot of gigs coming up, which is what I love.
Yeah.
And we're heading into a new booking season. I own a booking agency as well called Up Productions Canada. We do things on Instagram. Blah 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 blah. I'm sure there's a link that's going to show up right now,
Right below.
Awesome. And then, but I got a lot of stuff coming up with Justin Hogg. Really good songwriter, good performer too. Really good guitarist. Yeah. We did a little trio thing a little while ago in Devon, and it was really good. I was kind of expecting it to be somewhat good because he's a good guitarist, but he was like, he did a really good job, and that's, it's not taking anything away from Josh Ruzicki because he's good too. You should hire him. But other than that, there's I got some stuff with Danny Hooper coming up. He's got his showcase, the Stockyard reunion that he does every now and then. That's going to be happening on November 9th. After that, there's gigs with kind of everybody.
Right.
There's lots of stuff going on in the way of playing shows, but we're getting into a busy booking season now. It's going to start into September and into October, and we've got a lot of pubs to book, so I got to fill all that stuff up. But it puts horse meat in the old dog dish.
Perfect. All right, man. Last thing. tell everyone where we can find you on social media.
All of my handles are at I am Cody Mack. So that's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's probably the best way to do it. Even if you misspell it, you're still going to find me because there'll be a link there saying, hey, this is the actual one. Usually people say, I'm Cody Mack, and then they're like, oops, you don't exist. What are you talking about? But that's where you can find me for the most part. My booking agency, in which I do a lot of pub bookings for places like Finn McCool's and a number of other spots, that's Up Productions Canada at. All that stuff.
Okay.
We're just on Instagram for that one. That's where we kind of stick around. That's where everybody is anyways. We just might as well just let them do that part. I don't know what I said there, but I just went with it.
Perfect. Fair enough.
Other than that, anytime that you see a show with Danny Hooper or Sean Gristwood or Justin Hogg or Haley Benedict or Andrea Nixon, I'm usually in those bands. So if you want to come and see me play and do the best I can, you find those people and I'll be back there somewhere playing something.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect.
That's great.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for
coming
having me.
out. Everyone go check out Cody Mack. Again, all his links will be in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time.